Hiya. So for this latest video in this series, I thought I'd read a couple of poems that I've written recently when I've been out on my walks around the area in which I live. In these poems I'm exploring both the area and the things I see, but also the inner space inside my head. Anyway, this, by the way, is my space. You know, as you can see, it's pretty cluttered. Behind me you can see photographs of my grandchildren, some CDs, books. Here you can see a music stand, because I have pretensions to plonk a guitar every so often. There's a sort of sofa bed here with a load of crap on it, basically, because my place is so tiny. It's a little cubic box, an ugly place with low ceilings and nowhere to go, but it's home. What can you do? Anyway, here's the first one. Hasn't got a title. To love, you must refuse to love. Leave the dishes, the bed unmade. Do not go to life, embrace nothing, it will come to you. To love, you must refuse to love. Do not go to the gymnasium. There is no love in sweat or toil. Stride without purpose until you find your way to the ash, whose branches wrangle with light and bow as if to kiss the soil. Take a seat in its shade. Buttercups spread like flesh over the grass and yarrow twitch in the breeze. To love, you must refuse to love. Refuse the sky. Turn on the hill and see the sudden city etched in cloud formations. There are words you must know, of course, words like hate and despair, and words that can blind or freeze the sense like semi-detached, or crust easily over with cliché like void or serpent or shadow. To love, you must refuse to love. Dismiss poetry and the cocksure certainty of opinion. You must rise, step hopeless into the night, find the place where your generation crawl from under their stones under cover to daub graffiti on the wall of their prison. Give yourself time, breathe, peace, listen. To love, you must refuse to love. There are words that crawl into the ear and fester like, I understand, I'm a businessman, or plastered on a wall, the UK's #1 Elton John tribute band. To love is to refuse to love. Everything is possible. I love you. And the second poem goes like this. My place or your place, it makes a difference. These shoes are great. I bounce along in them so light they take me anywhere I want to go. Maximum pedicure pleasure. Why only today, following a fruitful trip to Lidl, I was taken to drinking in the sun in Julian's backyard. I remarked how far we have come, or perhaps just thought, because sometimes the one never becomes the other, and it's that which is unsaid impregnates and informs the moments that pass by, inflating the mystery of things and the horror of the past. Julian spoke of Luddites, of saxophones and singers, and OJ called, having cycled back from Tor Point. I said I'd call him later, but never did, tired after my dinner, and sometimes it just seems wrong somehow to prolong the event. Better to let it slide. It will go on anyway. things go on. And so I am extending my territory from my place. 2 cubic rooms facing north, no sun, no light, no pets. Just as well you couldn't swing a cat in here. My neighbours, charming folk who gossip in the garden, all facing oblivion and avoiding the bleeding obvious, tend the weeds. To outer space. Alerted by the local song thrush, I exit and tramp over the footbridge, past the aquarium, through Teats Hill and Queen Anne's Battery, up Breakwater Hill, looping round Catdown Road's plumbing, heating, drainage parts, splitting space and weather, and the long memories of Sunday afternoons when the kids were young and you, Lynn, were alive still, and drinking the rhythms of Watershed, or Two Bones and a Pick, or the Bricks, and your local oil supplier, skinning up in the alley, and the crazy rabble in beads and bangles and motorbikes, with a peace sign anarchic in red and black below the war memorial, fasting that long summer week. That skin, I remember him, his words stabbing me. What's she doing with her clouts out? But nothing came of it. It just went on and goes on. I heard the other day Roy died. An ending of sorts, I suppose. And though you shouldn't speak ill of the dead, you understand, I really can't say I'm sorry. It just goes on. And I was never going to get back what he owed me anyway. I meant to tell Dave, who I met in the street Saturday, but we disagreed over a film and I forgot. It happens, and he probably knew anyway. And I can smell it now on my fingers, that old thing. It lingers in the air, which is still as a corpse. This extraordinary space, the world just lying there, lumpen beneath history, waiting to be found. The city amazes and disappoints in equal measure. From industry to ocean to moor, the light fades in a pale sky, a pale sun sinks. A bat flitters past, a sickle moon rising. Well, I guess that's just about it. Thanks for listening.